Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pass and Pivot. I have the honor today of being joined by a prestigious South African netball. Like, she's just the best, one of the best, and she has joined us on the podcast today. We have the lovely Karla Pretorius with us. Hello, Karla, how are you?
Hello, Zola. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, it should be good. So let's just jump right into it. How are you finding the Telkom Netball League? How's the Crimeans doing? Preparations going well for the finals?
Yes, it's been a really enjoyable journey. I've really loved being back on court and being among some great ladies within our group. We're very happy with how everything went during the first power week and then the second power week. But we know we have our work cut out for us going into semis and then hopefully finals. But we're very optimistic and we're very positive, and we've done the hard work. We've done everything that's in our control, and yeah, we're just gonna go hard from here. I think any team within this competition want to go all the way, and that's our goal as well. And we've constantly kind of, you know, what you have to do in order to get on top of the other teams. So yeah, very happy with our preparation. Looking forward to it.
I know it's been looking very good for the Crimeans. And I just think that it is such a great thing to see the competitive edge that the Crimeans have brought this year to the TNL. I think that has just lifted the intensity for all the other teams as well. So thank you to the Crimeans and to you for bringing that leadership and that player mentality onto court. It's been really good to watch as a fan. I've really enjoyed it.
Great. I think at the end of the day as well, you want to put a great performance out there, and then it comes back to a great product that we want to make sure that we put out there for Netball South Africa and for the Telkom Netball League.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
very entertaining, and that is our role on our stage. Yeah, so we're grateful for this opportunity.
Yes, amazing. So you're here now with the Cranium. So where did it all start for you, Carla? I saw a post that you posted on social media saying something about, I think it was your 27th season, if I'm not mistaken. So where did it start for you?
Yeah, I took it back all the way to my first netball match when I was 8 years old. I think for any South African, that's kind of the first as a young girl. That's one of the first sports you get introduced to as a young girl.
Yeah,
And that was similar to for myself. My parents always encouraged us to do as much sport as possible, and I think that really contributed to us in the way we can then go out and perform on a netball court, because all those skills you learn from the other sports you can apply there. Yeah,
yeah,
so as many other girls, tried a lot of sports, team sport, individual sport, and netball was always that one sport that really stood out for me. Not necessarily the game itself, but the fact that you can play alongside your friends, you get to see places. It's just such a lovely environment to be in. So I always loved playing netball since I was 8 years old, and here I am still again.
yes, no, definitely. You are the longevity queen in South Africa, and that's something that we're just so proud of, and I'm sure you're proud of yourself. And what is the one thing that you feel like has set you apart for all this time that you've stuck into netball that has made you shine as a netball player in your individual sense?
I think one can never shy away from the great people you have around you. I'm a very
Mm,
firm believer in, especially where I am now, is to have a great support network around me. But if you take it back all the way from when I was 8 years old, having great support from my parents, having wonderful teachers that believed in me, being in a great school, having wonderful teammates. So those are the things that really plays a big role in kind of anything that you do, is having great people around you that believe in you and that invest in you. And that's something I've always had since being a young girl. And I've been reminded once again now returning to court how important that is. Now having my husband, my daughter, my mom and my dad, close friends that really supports me. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, in terms of just logistically them encouraging me and so forth. So also having great coaches, being in a
mm,
great team, and having great trainers around me, that really enables me to make sure that I perform on court. But yeah, something that I'm a firm believer in as well is doing the hard work and having the right
yeah.
attitude. And that's something I forever apply in my life. And that's something I want to tell young girls. Like, it's not always going to go your way, and your story is different. But if you are willing to work hard, regardless of whatever the challenge or the disappointment is, it will always bring you back. And having a great attitude can get you very far.
Definitely. And I think that's something that I've seen in your leadership as well. because I always watch the interviews that they have with the players halftime after, and you're very set in what the team wants to achieve. And there's like a structure that you guys play in, and everyone's buying into that. And I guess that's the support that you guys have in the team, as well as outside with all the family and the friends that are supporting you guys in your endeavor to win this Telkom Netball League. So I think amazing that you have that support structure, Karla. Thinking of that, what was it like from playing from the Craniums, playing for Kopsies? You have been in the Craniums. So if we think of Craniums, we think of Karla Pretorius. And how has it been going to Australia, coming back and staying in that environment? Like, what is it that just keeps calling you back to Craniums?
Well, I think it's the passion for the game and the love for the game. It's what netball brings out of you that you keep on coming back for more. It's in my competitive nature to go out there and compete, and you want to be the best. So not just go out and be on court, but actually still be a force to be reckoned with. And that goes back to willing to put in the hard work in order to be that. But yeah, my journey has always been from school, going to the University of the Free State, Kopsies, playing for the university, and then from there provincial, which was then the Free State Crinums, and playing for Crinums, and then got the opportunity to play for Proteas, and from there it led to getting a contract in England and then in Australia. But then it's so lovely to once again come back to your roots and where everything started, which is the Free State Crinums. It has given me so much opportunity and growth within my personal life and the person I am today. One can't shy away. Netball has played a massive role, and being in the Free State and playing alongside wonderful people from the very beginning. I mean, if you think of Adele Niemand, Marijke Holzhausen, you can name all the quality players that has worn this dress. And it's about keeping that legacy going. I think I'm very fortunate that I have another opportunity to wear this dress. I play literally every game as if it's my last, because you never know what's going to happen next. I hope that people can see that I'm really leaving everything on court, because I never know, will I be able to wear that dress again? So I'm really grateful for this great ladies that I found myself in now, even them being much younger than me, but it's such a positive and great environment to be in. And that's really credit to Coach Martz and Coach Snee in that environment that they create. But yeah, I count myself as really lucky to wear this dress again, but I've really worked hard in order to wear it again.
Yeah. And I think that's it, is that your mentality is you work hard, Karla, and it's your hard work that allowed you to get that call up that you got for the Spar Proteas back in 2011, and you're still in that squad. Talk us through that first call up that you got for the Spar Proteas. How did you feel? What was going through your mind?
I remember it was 2011, so that was also a World Cup year. So World Cup was then taking place in middle of the year in Singapore. So I was part of that Protea squad. So what we did, we trained like every second or third weekend. The squad would come in and we'll have a proper training camp. And then from there, they made the selection. So I was just so grateful to be still being a young player and having that opportunity to be in the Protea squad. So I was grateful for that. So when I got announced as one of the training partners, it was really such a special moment, because I did not expect that to happen. So I was one of the 3 training partners. So I traveled with the team to Singapore, but I wasn't in the team. But later that year, when we toured Australia, so I got the opportunity to wear the dress for the first time, and I played my first cap in Perth. We played against Malawi, November 2011. So it was kind of a build up that year, but having that opportunity at the end of the year was really special.
I'm sure that was very special, and you're still there. You're still part of the Spar Proteas. Speak to us about having the World Cup in South Africa. How was that, playing in front of a home crowd and having so many people have so many eyes and so much interest in netball and in the Spar Proteas? How was that experience for you?
No, it was a wonderful experience. I mean, if somebody asked me what is the highlight of your career, then I would always refer back to obviously my first cap, November 2011, and then when I received that accolade of player of the tournament in 2019 at the Liverpool World Cup. And then also one that really stands out is playing my 100th test in front of South Africa, in front of my family, and having my whole family there. So that was kind of the highlight. So the World Cup in Cape Town will always be special. The fact that for so many years I've built up to that moment, but also being able to showcase what world netball is in front of South Africans. So that will always be something that's really special, and giving that opportunity to play in front of South Africans. And I mean, we all know that there's nothing that beats a crowd in South Africa. Even if you ask any Aussie, any New Zealander, they would say it's hostile playing here, but they really appreciate the singing and the dancing. And so I think it was also a very unique World Cup that took place. But it will always be a highlight of mine, and me having that opportunity to take court, especially after having Cora and having that opportunity to play World Cup again.
Definitely. So speaking of Cara, your little girl, you announced your pregnancy, I think it was 2021, if I'm not mistaken, and you were still with the Sunshine Lightning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So speak to us about becoming a mother. Is she going to be a Spar Protea one day?
Well, if you ask her now, she doesn't. She's just at netball for the friends. But I mean, that's what we all do. We are at netball because of the people you meet, the friends you make. So I don't blame her.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I always say I don't mind whatever she decide to do. The only thing where I'm going to put my foot down is when she wants to become a shooter. There's too much. There's too much pressure. So there, I'm gonna draw the line. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, so she can do whatever she wants. Yeah, it was a big, I mean, for a lot of parents, it's a dream to become parents. So when it happened, it was really a big moment for us, and a special moment, especially where we were both, me and my husband, in our careers, and being able to do that. With an interview a few weeks ago, I also mentioned how motherhood really changes you. So how you look at things, it really keeps you in the moment. It makes you adaptable. So it doesn't change who you are. It just contributes to becoming something better. So there was a lot of changes that need to happen, but it was for the good. And having a kid, it kind of gives you the superpower as a mom that you are well and able to do anything.
Yeah, definitely. So it adds just another layer to your multifaceted life. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's speak through Australia. You were the first person to go over in South Africa to Australia. Speak us through that experience and how did it go with Sunshine Coast Lightning?
Yeah, so I was the first South African that were contracted in the Suncorp Super Netball League. Yeah, that was such a surreal moment. I still remember where I was and when I got that first phone call from Nolene Tira.
Imagine.
Asking me whether I want to come, and I was like, what question is that? Of course I want to come. So yeah, it was really special being part of a new club, Sunshine Coast Lighting. So I was part of the inaugural team that year. So we went over 2016, and then the first season was in 2017. So being part of that and playing alongside legends of the game like Jiva Mentor, Laura Langman, Caitlin Bassett, Steph Wood. So having the opportunity to really train against the best and playing against the best was such a great honor, and something I'm very grateful for, because it really took my game to another level. I learned so much from the coaches, from the players, and it really helped me to become a better netballer. And ultimately, I think that player I was in 2019. So it was a wonderful experience going through all those growth and being part of that team. And I'm really honored to have been serving that club for 7 years, being at the same club. And I mean, that's just how I operate. I believe in loyalty. So I was with that same club. The fact that they wanted to contract me for those many years said that I was still able to compete, but also staying with the same club. I'm really proud of that journey of mine.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was an illustrious career at Sunshine Coast Lightning. I actually made my mom buy a netball pass for me to be able to watch it on Netball Pass. When Umzamaweni came to join you, I was
Yes.
like, I have to watch these two play together. How was that experience playing with her on court in national
No,
as well as
wonderful.
in the?
Yeah, I rate her as one of the best, or one of the partners that I've really enjoyed collaborating with or connecting with on court. I mean, the fact that we have the opportunity to play together in the Suncorp Super Netball for Sunshine Coast Lightning, I think really contributed to our connection and how we play together, and ultimately the Spar Proteas, and ultimately 2019 when we were very competitive in that Liverpool World Cup. So having that opportunity contributed to that success, I believe.
Definitely. I agree with that. 2019 World Cup was an absolutely amazing World Cup, and you were so deserving to get that player of the tournament because the interceptions you got, the deflections, every match was a joy to watch, Carla. And it was not just you, but it was the team. I just really felt like the team had bought into what they wanted to do in 2019. And I think the world wasn't expecting it, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
So it's always nice to be the underdog as South Africa. But where do you see the Spar Proteas going in the Commonwealth Games coming up middle of this year?
I truly believe we can medal at the Commonwealth Games. We have such a great opportunity with the group that is together. So even if you look at the squad, there's so much depth in there, and it's definitely going to be a very difficult decision for the coaches. I mean, that's a great position to be in. The fact that you
Yeah,
don't know who's going to be your 7 or who's going to be your 12, it shows you that it's really a healthy competition at this moment. So, and I believe with the experience and exposure the group had the last few years is going to contribute towards a successful Commonwealth Games. If we look back at when we played 2019 World Cup, we played so many international matches. We came close. We won a few. We drew a few. We were very competitive against the top nations, and we had that exposure. That experience contributed to the success at 2019, and I believe we had the same exposure. There's a great group together, and I believe with my whole heart that there's an opportunity to medal at Commonwealth Games.
definitely. Now, Carla, you are a training partner, okay? What does a training partner look like in the South African Proteas?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I mean, at the end of the day, my goal was to return to court. This journey has been really rewarding. Serena Williams actually said it so nicely with her return to court now. She said
Yes,
she had nothing to lose, she has nothing to prove, and all to gain. And that just sums really up my feeling at this moment. I've gone into this journey with the goal to lift the trophy at TNL, to be competitive at TNL, and I want to go to Commonwealth Games. So there's no gray area. That's my intention, and that's what I'm working for. So at the end of the day, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that I put a great performance out there. I lead my team, and I want to be a great example. And then I want to go to Commonwealth Games. And I believe in the work that I put in, and I believe in my hard work. I believe in my attitude, and I know that I'm well able to make that team. But I'm doing everything in my control. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that are out of my control, which can which can then lead to yes or no. But yeah, regardless of what happens, I'm so grateful for this journey. But yeah, for everybody to know, my goal is to go to Commonwealth Games
my goal
and to
is
bring
for
a
you to
medal
go
back
to
home.
Commonwealth. Yes, that's what I was going to say. That's my goal too. Like, it would be amazing to see you in the international stage once again. Definitely. That was amazing, Carla. Thank you. Because everyone's been like thinking, okay, does she want to go? What's happening? So thank you for letting us know that your intent is to go to Commonwealth Games.
I think any person that is competitive, you're not just going to go out there to say, I've played. You're going to have big dreams and big goals. And that's kind of how I've always been operating. I have a dream and I'm go for it. And sometimes I reach that goal and sometimes I don't. But everything that's in my control, I give 110%. So it's similar to this, the sacrifices and where I am in my life and what I have to put on hold currently in order for me to make sure that I am competitive. So you're not going to go through all of that effort with not a proper goal in mind or something you want to achieve.
No, that's fair, definitely. And I think with the caliber of athlete that you are, it's very interesting to hear that that's your intent. And I think everyone would say they see the way you're playing on court. So it's really translating. All we can say is keep doing what you're doing because what you're doing is amazing. Okay, so if we move on, you have had lots of different coaches coach you. You've had Dame Nolene Taura, you've had Norma Plummer, you've had Coach
All the
Martin
legends,
Sake, a lot of legends,
Bertha
exactly.
the Cook,
Exactly,
Elise
exactly as I was
Coetzee,
saying.
Anna
So
May, Jess
many.
Tilby, everybody. Yeah, so throughout my journey, I really had the best coaching me. I mean, if you go all the way back from school, Juffrou Hanlie Durker, Juffrou Lida, Juffrou Tanya, like all of them have contributed so much to my journey. And I mean,
Mm.
if you look at university, Berta, Dorette, I actually worked with Coach Jenny in my matric year as well. So
Wow.
I've also worked with her at school. She was at Swartkop and she did a preseason with us. I also trained there. Yeah, and then Tannie Elise, Jess, Anna at Team
So
Balk.
many.
Then
Yeah.
yeah, so really legends of the game. So how lucky am I? So
Yes,
fortunate.
definitely. And do you feel like that has made you even more the player that you are now because you've had so much input into your netball career?
Yes, definitely. And I mean, if you look at all of those coaches, they've contributed so much in my journey. So one would contribute and then you go to the next step and somebody, and
Mm.
you learn, they all coach differently as well. And that's probably one thing I want to tell young kids is be coachable. You need to be like a sponge. When you get information from a coach, suck it up, keep it, because somewhere along the line you're going to use it. So I've learned so many great things from all those coaches. They have very different style of coaching, but I
Mm.
mean, how great is it being exposed to so many different strategies, so many different
Yeah.
ways in coaching? Yeah, so I've really learned a lot from all of them, and I still often refer back to things that stuck for me with different coaches. So, and I think that's also really helped me to become the coach I am today. I'm still like learning and still want to grow in the space even more. But the fact that I've played in those different structures and have been coached by those different coaches really contributed towards my coaching career and journey as well.
No, definitely. And I think that is also one thing you have in your pocket that other players don't have in your pocket, and you use it to your advantage. Speaking of your coaching career, how is that going for you? You are a head of netball, and how's that going for you?
No, I really enjoy my journey. I'm at Hoërskool Park here in Bloemfontein. So I'm the director of netball. What I really like about this is you run the whole netball program. So coaching is kind of 30% of the netball program, where all the rest is managing the program. What is being coached, educating
Yeah.
the coaches, getting the right coaches, getting the right people, getting the right players, putting it all together, managing it, adapting, evaluating, and all of those things
Oh,
that I really enjoy about this role of mine at Fihat Park is having that opportunity to really run this whole netball program. So it's really been an enjoyable journey. It's such a supportive environment, and it's really credit to the school and
mm,
the personnel there as how they've created this environment for me to just contribute and trial and error and build this program. And I'm very proud to say, compared to where we've been 3 years ago, and now for the first time, we had 3 teams in the league final, which has never happened before.
wow.
And I'm
That's
also
amazing.
positive that we're gonna take 3 teams to the SA, so the national tournament for the
Mm,
respective groups. So I mean, it's also great people, and once again, it's not just me; it's having great
mm,
people around you. And that's one thing I've really learned from all of these coaches is surround yourself with good people, people that
yeah.
are like-minded and people that are willing to buy in. Because just like netball, this program is not just run by one person. I oversee it, but it's run by different people and people buying in. So yeah,
Yeah.
if I can have this opportunity to just say, well done, Fihat Park, and they've really created this environment where we can thrive. So great kids, great coaches, great personnel. So I'm really enjoying this job at the school, and it's really adding to who I am. I really like
Mm,
development and working with people. Development is really a passion of mine and contributing to people around me. Yeah, and other than that, taking it to a more senior level, assisting at COFSI, so helping Tani Berta.
yeah. That's progression in your development as a coach as well, not just as a player. So where do you see yourself in like 5 years' time? Maybe head head coaching. What is it looking like?
Well, I can certainly tell you not on the court in 5 years.
Anything can
So
happen
no, I
still.
don't think.
Serena came back.
Well, anything is possible.
Mm,
So yeah, just also mentioning like my return to court, it's really been intentional. So it's always been the plan to get back to court. People often ask
yeah.
me, did you miss netball? Is that why you came back? And I was like, no, really for me to have and you mentioned it at the start, the longevity of my career is being smart about how you go about doing things. Smart in
Mm,
your training, rest is needed. So I really needed a mental and physical break last year. So I took it, it was intentionally done. I wanted to
Yeah.
take a break in order for me to come back and play 1 or 2 more seasons. So yeah, I did. No, I did not miss netball because I knew it wasn't the end for me. I knew I was
Yeah.
going to come back. I just came back sooner than I thought I would because life happened
Yes.
and we quickly adapt and we made the decision, let's go for Commonwealth Games. And now, yeah, here we are. So it's about being smart in resting when you need to rest, being smart how you train. I'm not the Karla at 25 anymore that can train twice a day, 5 times a week.
Mm.
Now my sessions are a bit shorter, more intense, but
Yeah.
we are being smart on how we take court and how we go about the preparation to make sure that I can perform on court. But yes, going back to your question about where I see myself, yes, I'm very passionate about coaching. I'm passionate about netball, passionate about
Yeah.
people, about coaching, about development. So I definitely see myself in a coaching role or a managing
Side
slash
of
coaching
that.
role.
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever, well, I know it's going to be in Bloemfontein, but wherever that may be.
Wherever in Bloemfontein that may
It's
be.
definitely something I want to be a high performance coach as well. So just as I
Mm.
really like the school environment because it's more, how can I say, community based and
Yeah.
like running a program base and putting structures in place versus being a high performance coach. So those are kind of the two environments that I really like both. So it's about deciding in which direction one wants to go. But I would love to coach the Crinums.
Yes, no, definitely. All the best for that. Speak to me, we are coming to the end of it, but speak to me about the Telkom Netball League and how far it's come. You were there when it was still Brutal Fruit, and now it's Telkom Netball League. How has that progression been for it to push to become a professional league? How far has it come, and how far does it still have to go, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, it's definitely grown from when it started in 2014 as the Brutal Fruit League, Netball League. So every year, I must say, the backing has increased, the almost exposure, the quality of games, and so forth. So it's really grown since it started back in 2014. So I mean, that's a positive, the fact that it's getting better every year. But
Yeah,
we need to come to a point where we need to now make it more professional. And
yeah.
how can we kind of make the league a bit longer? Because if you look at other countries, you need to at least play. It needs to be more or less like 10 weeks long in order to
Mm,
really keep you in that high performance environment where
yeah.
now you look at 3 months, which is always also 10 months, but how can you create a opportunity where you can play week in, week out and not necessarily as a tournament format where
Tournament, yeah.
you play 5 games a week. How can we make it so that it's 1 game a week, you prepare for that game and you go? So, I mean, I'm sure they are all aware of it and that's what they
Mm,
aim to achieve. So, my personal opinion is for us to make it a bit more competitive. And I know development is a big role and something that needs to be done, but how can we kind of identify the top 6 teams and regularly play each other?
yeah.
While we do that, still invest in the other teams that's still there. But I mean, for us to become more competitive, you want at least 6 teams that match evenly.
Mm,
So yeah, I think so. The long and the short, it's growing. It's becoming better every year. But we need to get
yeah.
to a point where it becomes more professional
And
in terms of financially, but also how you compete against each other and the format of the competition.
definitely. And I think we're coming to that point in South Africa to come to a crossroad because we've got a new executive now. They've been tasked with a new kind of phase. And I think now the questions are coming, what are they going to do different from the other executive? And I think now would be a
Yeah.
great time for them to put their stamp on the Telkom Netball League next year and see how it looks differently. Speaking on that, in terms of your training, you said it's changed. It's no longer twice or however much. The intensity is there, but the load isn't as much. Do you feel like Netball South Africa supports the players in getting out the product that they want from the players?
Well, I think if you look at the structure currently in South Africa, so your high performance environments are more likely your university structures. So there
Mm,
you get good SNC and good like surface training or good coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, if I look at myself, I'm responsible for my own S&C. So I had to source some
Mm.
training here at SportFit in Bloemfontein with Herman. So obviously I had to source my own, because I'm not in a university anymore, I had to source my own
Yeah.
S&C. So that's my responsibility. And then in
Okay.
terms of training, luckily, obviously, Tani Berta really helps us with our core sessions as well. So I'll do individual sessions with her. So she's very
Mm.
open for that. And she's serving us as ex-COFSI players, but she always contributes towards any player that wants extra training in the high performance structure. So other than a COFSI, she really prioritizes our ex-COFSI players. And then on top of that, you do your court sessions, say, for instance, with the Crinums, where Coach Marsden and Coach Ney takes the team. So, yeah,
Mm.
you are solely responsible for your training schedule. So, other times, say, for instance, I don't get a time that suits Tani Berta, I would call Coach Mart and ask her whether I can join a CUT team. And she is very
Yeah.
open for that as
Okay.
well. So, it comes
Yeah.
back to yourself. So, I'm responsible to make sure I get the training I know, I, at least out of experience, know that I need. And then in the S&C environment with Herman, we really manage everything together. So in a way, I'm individually doing it.
Yeah.
And then you come together as a team to
Okay,
further
that's
train.
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting because you would think that everyone does everything together, but I hear that it's not very possible because we're all coming from different areas of the province, I guess, as well, if you
Yeah,
think about it like that.
if you look at the Crinums team, so both that really contributes to the Free State Crinums is the fact that we have a good structure at CUT and a good structure at COFSIS. So all of those players are predominantly students that train
Mm.
at either CUT or COFSIS, and then we come together. But then I, as a non-student, need to make sure
Yeah,
I get my trainings in and so forth. So I'm responsible to source that myself. It's about being determined to get it done. It's about, I don't always feel like training, but then you need to dig deep and make it work, you know? So
yeah,
I think if I weren't committed, it will be a big struggle for somebody that's not committed to the course.
yes. But as you said, you have a plan and you have a goal. So that's why you're putting in the work. And I think that's a great
Yes.
example for other young ladies who are trying to make it into the Spar Proteas or just trying to make it into a Telkom Netball League team, I guess. You got to put in the work to see the results that you want to see.
Yeah, I actually read a quote where, and that's kind of my message for all the young players out there, that having hard work, bringing energy, bringing intensity, having the right attitude, being coachable, those are the things that doesn't require talent.
Yeah,
And those are the things that's within your control. So do that very well. I mean, that's going to take you very far, regardless of what your skill level are and so forth. I mean, that will, if you have those things, you will improve in your skill level as well. So, yeah, it's not all about talent.
definitely.
It's about what you do in order to be committed to the cause.
Definitely. Now, Carla, what would you like people to remember about your time on court? Not that you're calling it quits or anything, but what is the legacy? Because when I think of Karla Pretorius, I think of longevity and legacy. What is the legacy that you'd like to leave behind for future netball players, Spar Proteas to look up to and to remember about you?
I think one thing I want to say is that nobody's journey is the same. So you don't compare yourself to anybody else. And I think I've shown that people say, but you need to stop because you're old. If I want to go, I'm going to go, you know? It comes back to like having that right. And I often refer back to that because that's what it is. Willing to
Mm,
put in the hard work and having the right attitude, and you're a person that through that still can be competitive on court, regardless of how old you are or where you're from or what your story are. It is well and able. It is possible. I would just like people to remember me as somebody that really worked hard, that regardless of the situation or how upset it might look, still came
mm,
back for more because I was willing to commit to it. I was working hard, and I always see the positive side of it. So it's the same as what I said earlier on. regardless of what happens, the gain. I had nothing to prove now. I had nothing to lose. I just gained out of this experience, regardless of whether I achieved my goal in going to Commonwealth or not. This was a journey where I've gained so much. So yeah, I just want people to remember me as somebody that lead by example, somebody that really brought the energy and intensity. I would also want them to know that somebody that really support the people around her, because that's very important, because I also need that people around me.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you, Karla. So, Karla, to end us off, we're going to do some quick fire questions. There's 5 questions that I'm going to ask you. At the top of your head, just say the answer to the question. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, question 1. How do you take your coffee?
Milk, no sugar.
Okay. Question 2. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Question 3. Hardest person to play against you've ever played against?
Gretel Tippett.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Question 4.
Poeta now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she is married. Question number 4. Free State Craniums or Sunshine Coast Lightning?
At this moment, Free State Craniums.
Definitely. And then finally, just one last question. The one thing that you will always remember in netball.
The great friends I made.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Karla, for coming on to Pass and Pivot and joining us. I've really enjoyed
Thank you,
chatting with
Zola.
you. Thank you. I'll see you
Thank you so
soon at
much.
Commonwealth Games.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Okay.